Hey guys, welcome back to playing in Space with Planet. It's been a while. I think I should really go watch that last video I made a month and a half ago. I think I probably said the same thing. Um, Long story short, God, I gotta stop saying that. Just gonna do a new series. Have not. I think in the last video I was trying to get back into Eve. Life jumped in the way. I'll talk about that uh, later on as I'm going through here. Um, my main focus was I didn't want to. Oh, sorry, my head is too. Well, I guess I am Planet Head. I've got it large here. Um, I want to do a new series. I want to get back into Eve. I want to do a new series. The reason why I haven't been on Eve over the last month and a half is I was afraid I would get started and then get stopped. Talk about that in the future. Um, Really just want to get into the gameplay today. I have not played Eve since I brought up that last video. Um, so we're going to jump right in because I want most of these videos to, at least at the beginning, be focused on just getting back into the game. So I've got everything set up here. Hopefully, it's been quite a while since I've done a video, so I'm hoping the sound is working correctly. The only way I could do this, but I want to do this live. I want you guys to actually see what's going on. So if it's a little bit choppy now, I'll try to review this video, but I want it to be my real reactions to getting back into Eve. So here it is. I want to do, is Eve um, playable, returnable? I know a lot of the guys who watch videos come and go from Eve a lot. Um, Personally, I have a lot of things going on in my life. I so miss Eve that I've been trying to figure out a way to get back into it. Um, and um, so this is going to be that. Um, So let's just get up and running real quick. I do have my account set up. I did do the update since the last time, so I was about to do the video. So let's just jump in here. Um, I think I said in the last video that I'm pulling up my one of my old characters that is actually named Planet Head, Planet Space Head. I'm going to be playing with that mostly, if not completely, over the next foreseeable future. Um, and there he is. I've also got a couple other characters here that I haven't done in a while. But if you notice here, no skills in training, no skills in training, no skills in training. Never do that. Now, here's my issue. Don't know if this character is maxed out in training. He probably is to the 5 million for an alpha character. Um, so I'll have to take a look at that. A lot of things I want to check in on with this character, where he's at, that sort of thing. So let's just jump right in and get going. I think in my last video, I did say if you want to contact me, just mail me at this character's name. It's probably the best way to get in contact with me, or do comments in the comment section. I really like the comments in the comment section because back in the day when I used to do a lot of videos, a lot of people would, there was like a little bit of a community where people would bring up something and somebody else would bring up something else. I will not bring up videos live or emails to me here live, just because I want those to be private unless there's something in there that might be really helpful to other players. So I do have one email just sitting out there ready to go. So I'll check that out once I get done making the video. Not 100% sure where I want to go with this. So I'm going to go right down the line, I think, um, and try to limit these videos to about 30 minutes. Uh, so here's the general gist. Um, I don't have the time to power game. Um, I've got a lot of stuff going on in my life, but I so miss Eve. Um, and I want to get back into playing on a casual level. And these videos, I'm trying to think of a right title for them. I might workshop a couple. Are going to be is something similar to is Eve returnable to somebody who's been away, who wants to play casually. Um, and then If they are, the ultimate goal is for me to not make enough ISK in to plex out, but to be comfortable that I can buy a monthly subscription, because I know I'm back in love with the game and I want to play again. And I think that's the best thing to do. Um, there's a lot of really cool people that make these videos or make this game, and I think they should be paid for it. So, oh, I forgot my fat head is my planet-sized head is still up there, so let's get that a little bit smaller here. All right. Uh, well, actually, let's just a little bit of review. Bring my fat head up here. I did break out the old FanFest. This is a stupendous day for me. FanFest coffee mug that I got and my FanFest hat. Two of my prized possessions, honestly, that I went to FanFest about a year and a half ago. Um, Missed it this year, but I am kind of looking toward the future of maybe going to one again. Um, More on that in future videos, I think. A lot of information that I want to get to you guys, but I really don't want to just flood it all in one. Um, so let's just check in here. Let's see where we're at. What's the first thing you should do? I don't really have a list here. What's the first thing that a person should do whenever they get back to Eve? Well, my first thought is figure out where you're at and figure out, number one, where you're at with your skills. Number two, where you are at geographically in Eve, and then what you have in that area and what you need to get to. So, let's check it out. Number one, pull up Planet Head here. There might be, I'm probably going to run into some issues too, because there's been updates since I've played. Really haven't played hard in quite a long time, probably about 6 months. And I know they've done some updates since then. So I'll just run into those randomly. And then as I go along doing these videos, hopefully it'll be a nice little update. So if you can't tell, I got the new computer about 6 months ago. It's still running really well. And I duct taped up the camera. So I think I'm in good shape for once. The dog is still around. She's hiding here someplace. May need to take this hat off here soon. Got a nice little fan going. So let's see what we've got. Planet Head. So Planet Head was born in 2018, June 12th. So really real close to now. So he's almost 7 years old. Good for him. His net worth is at 9 billion ISK. Don't know where that's from. I think I do have some Plex on this account from a long time ago. So that's probably where that net worth comes from. Total skill points. Now this is the important part here. Is 10 million skill points. So this character can't get more skill points unless I go Omega. Now what I'll need to do, and I'm not going to do this right now, is pull up the other two characters on this account and see if either one of those can get skill points. And I'll just, if they can, if they've all, either one of them's got less than 5 million, I'll just set them with some skill points and I'll just keep playing with this one. But since I can't get more skill points, there's two options. Number one, go through the skills I currently have with this character, see what I want to do with it. Or number two, I could, and I've never done this before, I could remove off skill points and down below 5 million, I think. I don't know if that's an option. I have to do some research on that. And that might be a nice little thing for me to do on a video. And then re-inject to get the ones the skills that I want. So we now know that Mr. Planet Head is 7 years old, that he's maxed out on his skill points. He's in Osmodin. So that is in High Sec, that is in Placid. So where is Osmodin? It's been quite a while. Now his home base is in Stackman. I saw that too. So not too far from his home base. Now why am I have myself going to Syndicate? So the last time I was here, I'd set myself up to go out into the middle of Syndicate. Now is this a place that I have been to in the past. Looks like there's a testing facility there. This is really kind of interesting to try to figure out everything. One daunting thing that you can do when you've been away from Eve is you forget where everything's at. So a lot of this will be kind of a scavenger. What is that little icon there? Orbital skyhook vulnerable to theft. I don't know what that is. That must be update. If anybody knows, anybody who wants to point me in the right direction, you let me know. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Osmoden. Now, where is Stackman? Now, I could very easily, where's Orville? Orville is there. I know where this is. It's in the, I think it might be in the northwest spot of, let's go ahead and pull this over here. I'm so used, this is the old school in me. I'm so used to using Dotlan. Newer players probably use Dotlan still. So I use a third-party cookie, blah, blah, blah. That's okay, fine. Placid. There we go. There's Overall. Okay. I think if I remember correctly, a year ago, all of my accounts, or most of my accounts, I moved to this general area here in the northwestern side of Placid. As you can tell, down here in the southern side of Placid is Stackman, where this character's home base is. Whether that means anything to me right now, I'm not sure. But the problem there is no real quick way to get there from here, because it's all through low-sec systems. Now, if you've flown with me in the past, you know that I can get pretty much to and from areas, even as an alpha character. But let's see what we've got. Okay, so Orville. Now, what do I have in my station? Yeah, okay. So yes, I do have a decent amount of Plex. 2 billion ISK worth. And I've got a net worth of 9 billion. So this character has some stuff out there somewhere. Don't really care about showing you guys what he's got. It is what it is. So, what is in this station? Item hangar? Nothing. Ship hangar? I've got a hauler. That's it. So I've got a Badger hauler, which is one of my favorite looking haulers for an alpha character. It just looks like a naval ship from either World War II, or even it kind of looks like a Zentradi ship from the Robotech series, my first favorite TV show of all time, from way back in the day, in the 80s, when I was a kid. But, okay, so I've got the hauler there. Do I have anything in the hauler? That's the question. No, I have nothing. So I got pretty much nothing here in this station. Cool. Now the question is, where do I have my stuff? Actually, let's go right down the line. So I looked at the character. Let's take one last look here, see if anything jogs my brain. Stackman's main or his home station. So if I die, I'll land back there. So we need to check out what I've got in Stackman. Now Stackman is, a lot of you might know this, but it is, or used to be, I say is, when you haven't played in a while, things might have changed, was a secondary trade hub. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why I made it one of my home bases, was less traffic, but still had options to get a lot of the things that you needed. especially if you die. Do I have any augmentations on this character? No. Any jump clones? Clone jump available. I think I've got one jump clone available. Okay. So how about my skills? This is probably the most important part to know what I want to go with. One of my initial thoughts of coming back, here's the funniest part. So for about 2 years, I did videos of trying out as many things as possible other than mining. I almost single-handedly refused to mine anything because I did that a lot when I first started playing over 10, 12 years ago. One thing I realized is when I wanted to come back and play was I'm actually going to start mining again as an alpha character because that gives me time to get something done while maybe I'm doing research on where I want this character to go. Now the question is, does this character have mining ability? I hope he does. I mean, they all have mining ability, but does he have any skills for that? Boy, it's been a while. Production? Was it under production? No, industry, mass production. Resource processing? No. Wait, mining? Yes. Okay. So he does have some mining skills, some reprocessing, some salvaging. Very good. Very good. Shipboard compression technology. Oh, so I can get that skill. Oh no, that's gas cloud. Ooh, gas cloud harvesting. That is something I've never really done, so that's a future possibility. Although I can't get that skill unless I remove some off. Okay, so let's just show you here. If I wanted to work on this skill, it's going to pop up here and it's going to say, you can start training this skill because you have 5 million clone state at alpha limit. As an alpha clone, 5 million skill points. Daily alpha injectors are a good option for alpha clones. Each injector gives 50,000 skill points you can use per day. So wait. Can you use a daily alpha injector even if you hit the 5 million ISK? Is there any notes here? Limit is activated in the station to grant the user 50,000 unallocated skill points consumed immediately at once. The injector may only be used by characters in alpha state. Only one daily alpha injector may be used per day. So there's our first question. Now I'm going to pull up my map here, and I'm going to go to this brand new website. I don't know if you guys ever heard about it. It's called Google. And I'm going to pull this over here on the side for a quick second so I can read here. So, can a daily alpha injector be used by a character with over 5 million skill points? Okay, so AI overview from Google, which is usually helpful. Daily Alpha Injector can be used by a character with over 5 million skill points in EVE Online. Alpha skill training cap is 5 million skill points. The Daily Alpha Injector allows you to add unallocated skill points to your character, even if you're above the 5 million. Okay, so instead of having to remove off, if this is correct, instead of having to remove off the skill points, I can use this Alpha Injector. This has been around for a long time. I never actually felt a need to use it back in the day because I paid for my account. But that will be actually fairly helpful if I run into a skill like the gas harvesting that I might want, if it works. Alpha skill training cap. Let's see here. And this is actually kind of what I want to do with these videos. As I'm jumping in here and I have questions, I'm going to look them up. If that saves you time or if that's helpful to you, or if it creates a conversation that I read something and it's wrong, you guys can tell me. Um, wow, this is kind of perfect that I've run into this. Okay, so a little bit more coffee. Let's see. If there's anything else that's helpful here. Daily alpha injector adds 50,000. I'm going to skill points, total skill point limit. Total skill points you can have. Okay, the total skill. This is actually more. This is why I'm not as worried about buying this thing if I need to. It does say that an alpha character is approximately 20 million skill points, but this is the sum of all the skills that are available to the trained alpha, not a hard limit of alpha. Oh, okay. So roughly an alpha character can get about 20 million skill points. Um, that's as much as it can train up to, because a lot of it's blocked off being in an alpha. As I've said, my ultimate goal is to go back to Omega if I find that I can play and have fun with Eve um, on an occasional basis. So, okay. See, we're at about 20 minutes here, a little bit over 20 minutes. I think that was helpful. And that's what I want to do here is I want to do videos. Dismiss that. It's just kind of do a casual gameplay. Um, what I'm doing, how I'm playing, things that might come up. Um, and then once I get a little bit more comfortable, add on other things and increase the video and stuff like that. So, good. Okay, I think the last thing that I want to do is check out and see if there's anything in Stackman. And if there's anything in Stackman, it might be better for me to move in that direction, at least for the temporary state. Or at least where is the closest spot that I might have some of my own stuff. My ultimate goal right now, hopefully by the next video, is to get a venture or some way of mining so I can get that set up. So every time I come into play, I at least have something productive that I can do. Even if I'm doing my bills online and I want to throw on a ship over on the left-hand side over my monitor, I can still play and have something rolling while I'm doing it. So let's see here. A lot of stuff. You now know where all my stuff is from 5 years ago. Okay, so I'm going to go to Stackman here. Looks like I've got 34 items. Up, I got an audit logs container. So there might be stuff in there that you guys can't see. It looks like I've got a bunch of little ships here. And what is that called? That is called, I've got a cruiser. A MOA. Okay. And then I've got a Heron, a Griffin. Well, those are probably beginning ships. A Bantam, beginning ship. Caldari Shuttle. Ooh, I have an Interceptor. Been a while since that. Hot rod parts. Got to be some stuff in there. So maybe the next video will be me once I get to Stackman. Maybe we'll go open some of these boxes and see what I got. Got a destroyer? Here, okay. Well, really well-named stuff here. I've got a destroyer and a cruiser and a Hodor. Kestrel. Interesting. Ibis. Got another interceptor. So I got two interceptors there. Yeah, I really think this is a great place for me to start with. Oh, I got another cruiser there. Looks like I've got a Vexor there. A lot of stuff there that I can mess around with. So, how do I get to Stackman safely? Can I get there just going high sec? I'm pretty sure I can. I got nothing in this station to take with me, so that saves me a little bit of time. And Stackman, 13 jumps, all through high sec. All right, so let's just get moving. So as I'm moving over here, I'll kind of give you guys a little bit of an update. Not everything that's been going on. Like I said, I want to start doing this probably either every morning or every other morning. I wanted to make sure that I had everything set up before I started this. I'm hoping my setup with the camera here, I don't have to mess around with that every single day. There we go. Let's go ahead and get jumping. Oh, this is not poorly set up. I got a workforce stabilizer on here. I got a lot of protection here for shields and a micro warp drive. So if I need to haul some stuff, I got some stuff going on here. So in general, I can't 100% remember what I had talked about a month and a half ago when I initially thought about trying to get back to the game. The last 2 months have been a little bit crazy, but good. General gist. I think I told you guys about this. In March, I won a free roll entry into the July 2nd World Series of Poker main event. It's a $10,000 entry fee that I actually won winning a tournament of about 250 people. I am not a professional poker player. If I were to make any money in this main tournament, it would be mostly luck. Where I think it was Dan Harrington, one of the greatest poker players of all time that nobody talks about, wrote some really great books back in the day. He gave a great analogy. He said, if a professional poker player has, I'm probably going to misquote him here. If a professional poker player has an edge, so let's say you have 100 poker players playing in a tournament. So each one of them has about a 1% chance of winning. There's 100 people. If there's a professional poker player, they'd probably have like a 1.5 to a 2% chance of winning versus your recreational player who has a 0.5% or to 0% chance of winning. I think I'm off on this analogy. I'm definitely in the lower end of that. That said, this is only a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm never going to fork over $10,000 of my hard-earned money to play in a tournament like this. Obviously, I have to have some skill at the game to win a tournament. I've won other tournaments in my life, smaller tournaments, but I'm nowhere near as good as a lot of the guys who are going to be playing in this tournament. So that comes in just over a month from now. Over the last month and a half, I've had a couple opportunities to practice, and I'll probably talk a lot more about this over the next month. But I did go to Las Vegas for a week. A friend of mine was actually going out. Very crazy situation. He was going out to see the last couple of Grateful Dead shows. He's a huge Grateful Dead fan at the Sphere. So I decided to go along with him so I'd have some time to play in a couple of low-level tournaments just to get a little bit of practice. So I did that for about 5 days and really learned a lot, looked at what I knew how to play. Then came back about 3 weeks later, went out again to California this time to the Commerce Casino, and played. I was actually going up. Another friend of mine, actually the same friend. I don't, since I haven't said his name, it's no big deal. I'm sure he doesn't watch this video. He actually was in the Tournament of Champions for WSOP. And they do this tournament for anyone who's won a World Series of Poker ring in a ring event over the last year. And over 550, or maybe I think it's like 850 people are invited. I think 450 showed up. And so I went out to follow along with him, see how he was doing, and learn some there. And then I also played in a ring event while I was out there. And actually, I played in 2 of them. The first day I busted out before I made any money. The second day, I actually made it to the money by the slimmest of margins. Like, literally by the slimmest of margins. right after we got to the money side, I then busted out. And I was so short on chips, it was going to happen anyway. Big long story involving that. Maybe I'll talk about that later. But my biggest thing there was I was able to sit across from a legendary poker player for a couple of hours named Phil Locke. Great guy, very nice guy, quiet. He's actually married to, I think he's still married to Jennifer Tilly, who also plays poker, but she's also an actress. Been around for a long time. But I've heard nothing but good things about him, and he was very gracious while he was there. A very nice guy, and he was way ahead of me. But I got to see how he acted, how he played while he was out there, and so that was a great learning experience. So over the last month and a half, while I'd planned on doing some Eve stuff, I was more focused on trying to get ready for this tournament. At this point now, I've got about a month before that. I've got a couple other things that I want to work on, try to get a little bit better, but I know where I stand. So really looking for something to take my time, my free time. So on top of working on my poker skills, working on the house, playing with the dog. Oh yeah, work. Sleeping, eating, blah 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 blah. You can tell there's a lot of things that are going on, but I love Eve so much that I wanted to get back into it, and I love making these videos. So hopefully, this being the beginning of that is something for the future. The next couple of videos are probably just going to be me sitting down, figuring out where I'm at, and what I'm going to do going forward. A lot of it might just be this. I'll do some little bit of looking and some research on the video, and then at the end, I'll do whether it be some mining or some traveling, while I give you guys some updates, or maybe give you guys some helpful hints of things that I found on my days off of making videos, and mess around, have some fun. If you have any questions, any thoughts, any things, the ultimate goal of these videos, and I don't know how long they will take, is Eve playable for a casual player? Is it worthwhile? And here's a general number. And what I'm talking about is somebody who actually pays for the game. Okay? I think it is, but I want to prove it. Here's a really simple calculation. And a friend of mine and I came up with this back in the late 90s, early 2000s, when we had our PlayStation and PlayStation 2s. And it's this. If you pay money for something, you should at least get an hour's worth of recreation out of that for every dollar that you spend on it. Okay? Does that seem logical? So in other words, if I bought a video game for $50, then for it to be a successful purchase, I would have to pay $50, play 50 hours of that video game. This goes back to the day when you bought your CDs for your PlayStation 2s, or maybe you did a little bit of download. My example would be, and I'm going to show you guys this, just recently over the last couple months, up here at the top, actually I'm going to pull this down here, and put Eve back up here at the top, because that's what I'm playing, and there's WSOP. So I play a lot of Fallout 4 just because I like shooting stuff, and it's very simple. Recently I've thought about getting Fallout 76. I've heard they've made a lot of updates to it, and a lot of upgrades. It's familiar, I don't have to do a lot of learning. But over the last half a year, I went out and I bought the old version of Sid Meier's Civilization 5. Never played it. Played Civ 1 through 3 and then stopped. Always wanted to get back into playing it. But then I also went out and bought Baldur's Gate 3. I know both of these games have been out there for a little while, but both had great reviews. I'm going to be honest with you, I paid for both of them, and I have not gotten over the hump. I just wasn't that intrigued by them. Maybe I've grown past those. Maybe I just don't have enough time or patience. They're still sitting there waiting for me to play. But that's a great example of something that didn't make that dollar per hour thing. So that's going to be the calculation. if I pay $15, if I pay $20, if I pay $25 a month for EVE Online, will I be interested enough in playing it that I will get that amount of hours out of it per month, because it's a per month fee? And we're almost to Stackman, so probably talk about that a lot more in the future. But in general, that's where I'm at right now. That's all I've got for today. I guess I'm gonna make a thumbnail for this. Boy, it's been a while since I did that. But happy to get back here and play. And I'm looking forward to the next time I pull this up. And we'll check out those ships and what I've got. Maybe I'll just pick one. See if I can go fly out and do something with it. Did I have a venture? Actually, I did not see if I had a venture here. So, Stackman? Probably not. If whenever I came back, do I have a venture? That might be my first one. Because next video, I'll be pulling up what ships I can fly, what ships I have. So I've got another, I think that's a Nearest. Okay. Not seeing any ventures here. Actually, I think I could do a search. Venture. Search. Okay, so I do not have a venture in Stackman. Jump, jump.
Warp drive active.
So is it worthwhile for me to purchase one to get that up and running? I think that might be the next video. We'll figure it out. But hey, I'll be landing here soon. That's all I got for today. I hope you guys have had a great day. Maybe I'll go through some other stuff here. As I come across things, I'll try to notate them so that when I'm playing in the next one, I can give you guys updates as to what I figured out since I came back. All right, have a great day. Fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however you want. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.